First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. I wanted to pull that up. You know, we have a lot of different cameras that we can take here for this show and for everything here, but that is our one from Ski Bowl, looking at Mount Hood, looking at all of that beautiful wilderness right there, which makes me really want to go camping. And that's what we're going to be talking about here with this segment. Again, I am Greg Nibbler, so we live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, covering all kinds of topics. And we are, of course, live streaming, and you can watch that afterward as well on demand. So I recommend downloading that Fox 12 Oregon app. Good way to do that, but kptv.com, that works as well. There's a Fox 12 Now tab. This is a segment actually about a company right here in Oregon who is manufacturing camping canopies, something that's pretty unique. You may have seen some before, but this is something that's actually just made here, and it started just a few years ago, actually, by former Nike employee, Peter Williams, and he started this company to figure out a way to help get out into the woods quicker. So, you know, sometimes you're getting off of work, you have to go home, you got to pack, you got to get back out on the road. That can take a lot of time up. If you're a camper, you know that struggle. But what if you just had everything all there, ready to go, same vehicle you drove to work, and you just head straight out into the wilderness? And that's kind of part of what we talk about with this, of why he wanted to start this company, and it has taken off. They're in Northeast Portland. They've got a huge manufacturing facility employing a number of people, again, all here locally. So that's why we wanted to go out and take a look at it, and that's what we did. We went out on location, so we're going to showcase this. We kind of start off with him talking about the founding of this and some of the struggles he had. He's married, had some little kids, had to figure out how to, you know, adapt that camping lifestyle, but still maintain the things that he needed to maintain for that. And so that's where we begin with this conversation, and we'll jump right into it.
Originally, you know, my wife and I decided we wanted to get a Tacoma as kind of our adventure vehicle. Had a 4-year-old, 3 pushing 4-year-old at the time, and started looking at similar products, and basically was debating kind of what I wanted, and wasn't super excited about anything that was out there. And so I decided just to kind of like do a DIY project and build a camper for my family. And reached out to a friend to kind of do like work together, summer project type of thing. Yeah. And then as we got into it, realized there was probably enough demand and felt like we could bring bring something to market that the market would want. So that process ran its course, and we brought our first camper to market and made our first sale in July of 2020. So that coincided with COVID, and what looked like strong demand was amplified by COVID. And initially, the idea was that it would just be sort of a side project for me, and I would stay at Nike. But with the way things went, and you know, everything happened so fast, I ended up leaving Nike in November and committing full time at that point to try to do it.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to camp. There's a lot of ways to go out there and experience the wilderness. I mean, you mentioned getting a Tacoma, obviously a good vehicle for going out and exploring the wilderness, but camping specifically in the way that you've created this, what was it about that was the way that you wanted to do this?
Sure. Some of it was kind of a throwback to like a previous time of life. I had pickup trucks, you know, for most of my life, and had a little canopy and slept in the back of them a lot. So that, you know, that was a fun time of life, and I've always enjoyed it. But then when we had our son, you know, it really drew a focus back onto how important it is to me as a parent to get him outside and, you know, raise him in that way. And so that's what really narrowed the focus down on, like, you know, we looked at vans, we looked at slide-ins, and there were a lot of reasons that some of those options didn't really fit into our life at that time. But something like our product, where it goes on the truck, and it's basically a canopy over your truck bed, commercial grade canopy over your truck bed Monday through Friday, but it's also a camper, so you can get out really easily. Just for us personally, just trying to remove the friction points to going from the work week to the weekend and getting outside. I was looking at it from the point of view of I really, you know, when I was a carpenter, I always had a vision of the commercial canopy that I wanted for my truck bed, just to keep things secure and dry. So leaned into that idea and drew on some manufacturing methods from airplane manufacturing, and hit on this design as a good way to apply those techniques. We build them out of laser cut and brake formed aluminum that's all riveted together.
Wow.
And so it's riveted with solid body rivets that they used to build airplanes and have for a long time. So it's very proven and very durable to like flex and vibration. It strikes a really nice balance of like lightweight but very strong and durable, and also survives the sort of use case of bouncing down the highway and twisting up bumpy roads and those types of applications. Some models require a clamping system that we designed, just because you don't have access to the bed rail to actually bolt it in. But others we can bolt it, but to remove it you're either loosening those clamps or removing those bolts, and then it's just it just pops right off the truck bed. You don't have to modify the truck at all to.
What was that interaction with the community, with your I guess initial customers?
Sure.
What was their response?
Customer response has been just super positive from the beginning. As soon as we delivered the first one and got some traction, basically just through posting on Instagram, it just grew really fast. Yeah. So we very quickly were just scrambling to keep up and had to scale all the manufacturing components much quicker than we anticipated. And we didn't anticipate doing it during COVID, so presented all kinds of challenges that we had to navigate. But we get access to so many different climates, different geographies. We can be down on the coast, up on Mount Hood, out in the high desert. You have access to all of that within just a few hours. And I think one of the things that we really thought about in our design was camping in a wet climate. So designed it to be a good 4-season solution in this climate, and it has proven to be so. So in those rainy camp situations, and I also looked at it as I'm going to hang out in there with my family, so I really put thought into what's going to make it nice to hang out in there.
Yeah.
How are we going to stay comfortable, and if we're hunkered down and playing Uno, what's that going to be like? Not just a hole to go sleep in.
What is the ideal customer, or who's the ideal? What's the ideal use case for these?
Our customer base is pretty varied. For sure, we're not really the entry point to camping for folks. Most of our customers are coming and really see the value of what we're putting forth. There's definitely cheaper products out there to get into camping with, and that's awesome. But we've found most of our customers have had 2 or 3 different versions of what they've been working with.
Yeah.
We've had good luck in keeping people happy and I think being the end point of the journey,
Right.
We've built over 1,000 of them, built and delivered over 1,000 of them in the 4 years. So we've had a good amount of practice. Really looked at, when we moved from a DIY project to designing it for manufacturing and looking at building a company around it, really looked at how the design and the manufacturing could scale, and tried to build relationships with manufacturing partners locally that could scale with us and allow us to really focus on assembly and quality control. And I guess over the course of the 1,000 that we've put out the door, we've got it pretty refined at this point.
Seems like everybody gets along from what my peripheral, quick walkthrough, but also there's a bunch of dogs in there, so that makes me think that this is a pretty good place.
I think so, I like to think so. We certainly prioritize a strong work culture, try to make sure, everybody, you put so much energy into work, try to make sure that it's a good place, and, that investment of your time and energy is positive,
Well, what comes next?
So we're in the process now. Our big project that we've just launched, we've taken our clamshell and tent and pulled it off and designed a mounting system and an integration kit for van conversion. We've got a great option for a truck owner. Now we've got something really nice for a van owner.
Nice.
And we've been also developing some soft goods accessories that will work in both environments. We've got a line of things lined up to come out. I think a big one for us that we rolled out this winter is we integrated a Truma heater into the design and an insulation kit. So the last couple winters we were out winter camping and it was great, but it was pretty full-on winter camping. And now we've got a heater insulation kit, and that combination really took winter camping to a much more comfortable zone. So I think it'll be accessible to a lot more of our customer base. And that was a fun one to work through. There's some complexity to get it right, but it came out really well.
Yeah, but it's working there.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Anything else that you think people should know just about Super Pacific and what you're doing?
Just we're in Northeast Portland out by the airport, and everybody's welcome to come check it out. I think it's pretty cool, and we've got a great team just cranking and trying to keep it going.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. These are definitely really, really cool.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think they're awesome. All right, there we go. So really appreciate them having us out there to take a look at that. And as he said, right out there by the airport, so locally made. And if you like the outdoors, it might be something you want to go check out. But I love hearing about these kinds of things. And as I mentioned, just going back to that locally made product. So if you know of something that you think might make for a good segment here for Fox 12 Now, feel free to send an email, fox12now@kptv.com. And we'll see if maybe we can make something happen, or maybe we can go out and take a trip out to check out what somebody's doing. But yeah, thank you to Super Pacific, and thanks to Jack and Z-Fan who are out there shooting that and editing that. So I appreciate that as well. And for all of you tuning in, if this is your first time, Fox 12 Now live streams here every weekday, and we have all of our segments available for you at kptv.com or on the Fox 12 Oregon app, and we cover a wide range of things, including breaking news. If breaking news ever happens during the afternoon outside of our regular news programs, which are at noon and 4, this is the place to go. So I will be here with that for you, and in addition to all the other things that we get to talk about on this show. But I think that's it for right now. I'll sign off. I'll talk to you soon.